Good day, everyone. I am Norsna. Together with Azrina, Pervin, and Shavin, represent the Enigma from Section 28. We do a short presentation about online learning puts an end to learning outcome. Our objective is not to try and persuade all of you to stand on this topic, but we would like to highlight that online learning does not work on everyone. In 2019, whole world has been shocked by coronavirus disease. COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a novel coronavirus which was first identified in Wuhan, China. Therefore, World Health Organization declared COVID-19 as a global pandemic and recommended to take actions in order to prevent the transmission of this pandemic. The speed of virus spread influences all aspects of life without exception. Educational system is one of the most important aspects that is affected by this virus. Thus, COVID-19 pandemic forced the schools in more than 100 countries worldwide to be suspended without any planning. The educators must change their way of teaching, and face-to-face class must be avoided to apply social distancing and keep away from crowded places. COVID-19 pandemic has developed an innovative approach of different forms of study. Due to the closure of schools and universities, educational institutions around the world are turned into online learning sites to continue the process of educating students, which encourage students to study from their home. Actually, online learning is not the new concept of learning because it has been established before this in 2011 in Malaysia, but it was called Virtual Learning Environment VLE. All of us agree that online learning puts an end to learning outcome because it depends on technology, raises the issue of the educational inequality, and causes shortage opportunity for social exchanges and interactions among students. On the contrary, online learning widely known for its flexibility. However, too much flexibility will lead to discouragement and low motivation to study causes students fail in examination.
The study materials can only be accessed through gadgets like smartphones and computers that are connected to the internet. Technology-dependent learning is not for everyone as it is solely based on the variety of technology that each and every person owns. Unless you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, factors such as poor internet connection and machine malfunction could be the death of you. The quality of internet connection and the types of device used as the medium for online classes varies from place to place. Based on a study in Ho Chi Minh City, 11% of the students have high-speed internet and stable connection. 69% are average, while 20% have very poor internet connection, which proves that the majority of the students have average and poor internet connection. Besides internet connection, other development issues such as bugs, errors, functions, and storage capacity of devices used also resist cyber classrooms to function smoothly. Failure to transcend these technical issues will generate lack of motivation, anxiety, boredom, as well as distractions among students and end up by giving up on online learning.
Online classroom raises the issue of educational inequality among students and majorly affected by factors such as environmental background and types of learning method of students that is different for each student. The study environment is not the same for every student attending the virtual classrooms. There will be some students who are having a conducive study space, while some students will have an opposite circumstance. As a result, the understanding level of the students might differ and educational inequality occurs. Generally, in a classroom, there are three types of students: auditory learners, visual learners, and kinesthetic learners. Virtual learning failed to cover all three types of learners compared to traditional classroom. For instance, slide-based learning in virtual classroom is only relevant for visual type students and cause a non-linear outcome in studies.
Besides that, virtual classroom hinders the opportunity for social exchange and interaction among students. Social exchange is a common occurrence especially in universities and educational institutions. Therefore, students will be able to benefit from each other by reciprocating and speaking open-mindedly on a certain topic of discussions or argument. Generally speaking, an individual can only comprehend a certain amount of knowledge before reaching their limit. Through social exchange, however, students will be benefited from each other while subsequently acquiring a shared knowledge base of multiple individuals during a sharing session. And this would indirectly improve their cognizance too. Online education does have its benefits to a certain point. However, the online universe is teeming with disadvantages and unfortunate occurrences due to its unpredictable nature. Online interaction cannot compete with face-to-face classrooms since students would not receive a relevant platform to improve their generic skills, such as communication and metacognitive skills.
However, online learning is widely known for its flexibility. Students can access the learning materials on the respective e-learning platforms whenever they want to, regardless of the geographical location. They can work at their own pace, which means that they can just skip the ones that they have learned and pick those that they want to study. Students will have plenty of time to digest all the information needed and do their own research on the topics learned. In this era, scientifically, there are two types of students. The ones who love to study early in the morning, early birds, and the others who love to study late at night, night owls. Majority of the students prefer late night studies because it is a quieter and more peaceful environment to study. This contradicts to face-to-face learning, as they will have to wake up early in the morning to rush to class sessions.
Although online learning is flexible compared to traditional classroom, too much flexibility in education will lead to discouragement and less motivation in study. The repeated action of sitting at one place, staring at the computer screen, attempting a lot of quiz and submitting it on time will cause boredom to students. Student tends to lose their self-discipline when continuing the same routine of learning every day and having a pliable schedule. As a result, this condition can cause laziness and increase the number of dropouts. Therefore, we must look at both sides of coin and comprehend that there are some hidden cons behind flexible learning.
Conclusively, online education can be seen to possess more disadvantages than advantages due to the dependence of online learning on technology, the rise in issues of digital imbalance, and the scarcity of opportunities for social interchange and communication among students. This could be a vital source of awareness which reaches out to other students who are involved in this online education and the institutions which they are pursuing their studies in. In return, it will allow the institutions associated with this issue to detect the problem and to have a consciousness towards it while embracing the change. That's all from us. Thank you.